Alrighty, y'all. Day two of my um, conference. It's going to be shorter. Today I was mostly in discussion groups where people were sharing experiences and such, so not a lot of notes from that, but awesome things that come up. I feel like it's been all just kind of scratching the surface of things that I really want to hear more about and learn more about. And I start identifying with, I'm like, wait, what's that and why? But then we move on to something else. So, but it started off with a talk on diversity and dialogue, the importance of diversity and dialogue. And so it was called We Disagree, Let's Talk. You know, which isn't something that's usually allowed in a cult context. Definitely not encouraged, disagreement and challenging things. So it says when one has more contact with people of different views, one is more likely to recognize one's opinions as opinions and not confuse them with fact. So that's self-explanatory. Yeah. Also, cults enforce childlike black and white thinking. There's good, there's evil. So that falls into people and it enforces stereotyping, which promotes dehumanization and a separation, us versus them kind of thing. So the cult versus the outside world. It's everything's black and white and understandable versus everything's ambiguous and you don't really know, everyone's truth, or you don't know, So, which I'm going to skip. In cults, we learn to anticipate and discern how others feel, especially if we're born into it. You learn how to, because, feelings can change from one moment to the next. The people of authority, they'll feel it. It's all about their feelings and their mood and what's going on. Like, we revolve around that. So, so we become kind of gain this almost superhuman ability to understand people, or like anticipate what they're feeling or thinking, and but that's apparently not as common with just everyone. And so this was in context of, we were talking about boundaries. So you must communicate what your boundaries are, and you must communicate, and like, if you don't say how you're feeling, people aren't gonna know. And for a lot of us, for me, it's like, I expect people to know what I'm feeling. It's like, isn't it obvious what I'm feeling? But no, I have to share that. So, boundaries was a huge one. So boundaries are defining parameters, either physical, psychological, emotional. And privacy and confidentiality are not respected in cults. We're discouraged from exploring and mastering problems outside the safety of the cult family. That's huge. That's so huge. So on the other side of that, cults are too rigid with the outside world. Too many boundaries. Like, don't see, don't touch, don't look. Don't be friends, don't, all of that. But within the cult, you don't have any personal space. You're not allowed to keep secrets. You're not allowed to have a private life. Everything's fair game, and we're talking about each other all the time. That's pretty common too, apparently. How there's like a culture of kind of gossip almost, where you're telling on each other, and people's lives become public, and you're, used as humiliation tools, whatever. So, yeah. Cults use legitimate psychology to disempower you. So that's a tough one for me, because a lot of things that were used, like the healing things, were good methods, that were used. But right now, I don't think I could sit through some of that. For example, getting healed in your imagination, right? Like picturing yourself in a scenario and doing something and having someone walk you through that. That is a legitimate thing that's helpful. But for me, I don't think I could sit through that anymore. I don't think I can put myself in that position of vulnerability to allow someone to do that for me at the moment. Here's a little quote. Your recovery is not about the cult leader. It's about you. Some other quotes. We weren't crazy. We were just super resilient, adaptable people. And now we have to do it again. I love that. I love it so much. Okay. Here's something. Confessing deep, dark secrets isn't the only way to make friends. What? What? That's what I thought. It's like you meet somebody, you share all your deep, dark secrets, and they share it too, and then you're friends for life. You know, you go right to the deep things. You go right to... That's my whole life has been like that. And so I freak people the hell out, and I've known that, but I didn't know that there was another way to make friends. Oh, so, yeah. Okay. So, for first generation people, the rigid boundaries with the outside world initially feel suffocating. But, as the water gets warmer, it's something that it keeps getting spiritually justified. And so it becomes normalized. On boundaries, too, others people's boundaries should not be taken personally. That's huge for me, you guys. You don't know. I'm like, oh, what's wrong with me that you don't want to hang out, right? Or like, oh, you said that the way I touched you made you feel uncomfortable. Like, I didn't mean any harm. I didn't mean any evil. What the hell, But apparently you're not supposed to take that personally. It's just someone's boundaries. It's just their space. It's just their thing. So, anyways, that was great. I think I'll leave it at that. Yeah, there was some really, oh man, I wish I could share this, but I didn't really get a grasp on it. But they were talking about your amygdala, which is part of your brain, and how you're always on high alert. So becoming suspect of people, or becoming, somehow that's something that, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I think there was one more thing. Oh, here. So when you're feeling something and express it, only to be told you're wrong, you end up losing touch with your senses. So, how would that work in a scenario? It's like we're told our feelings are wrong. Like, oh, you shouldn't feel this way, or that's not really what's going on. So like you're onto something, and you're thinking this is going on, and you're told, no, that's not reality, that's not what's going on. And you end up losing touch with your senses, so now you don't know what's what. Like, you can't trust yourself. You can't, you're like, I feel this red flag about this, but is it right, is it wrong? Like, is it too much, or is it appropriate to feel this way? Whatever. And that's also a way that you end up becoming dependent on that person to tell you what's what, to tell you what's true and what isn't. So you start bringing everything to them, like, so they can clarify, and you lose touch of your own sense of discernment, for lack of a better word. Alrighty, leave it at that. Love you. Bye.